And we are underway with some more group action from the secondary randomizer tournament for Link to the Past. We have a Group M match between the top two runners of this group, Joey Mittens and RaikouRider, and it looks like we have some very interesting divergent paths.
We have Joey going from house into what looks like escape. Meanwhile, Rai seems he went from Sanctuary, and where is he going?
He's going to set up Chris Houlihan.
Right, Chris Houlihan. That's a quick what? 245, 255 rupees.
It's 225 rupees. This is noteworthy because you can only do this before you get flippers. For those of you not familiar with the way he's setting this up, every time he jumps off of the ledge there,
we have a lamp pickup in the escape right after Uncle, so that's a very good find for Joey early. He really needs this win after losing a real close match last round.
Oh, certainly.
And now we have a check on Sanctuary by Joey, and it looks like Rai is checking the house. Nothing too exciting there.
So I imagine both of them at this point are probably going to make a play for your standard Lost Woods into Kakariko Village. But one advantage is that because Raikou
has that money. That
yes,
is very true.
Because of doing the Chris Houlihan, and that's definitely a very respectable play at the start of a seed, just to be able to guarantee that you have bomb money.
It's not one you see that often. Oh, we do have a tree pole, and that gives 20 rupees for Joey, and Joey's also going to check Lumberjack. Let's see if we have a required AGA. We might still have one, but this will make it definitely easy to see.
Looks like a heart container.
Heart container or couch cash. Either way, not necessarily something they need.
Yes, yeah, it is a heart container, so we may not see AGA 1. It is definitely possible, depending on the items that you see. If you see an early cape or an early master sword, then that's very indicative that you may see them go to AGA 1 just to get to Dark World. And we have a stick in the Lost Woods. I am sure both of them will be very happy to see that early.
That is quite a twig. Joey, what is the other item in the Lost Woods? Just some couch cash, but
I'm sure he's happy to see that.
He didn't have the money, so yeah, he definitely can use it.
He's still a few rupees short for bombs. I mean, there's definitely a risk to doing Houlihan. In that it is a little time consuming in the early game, typically taking about 45 seconds.
Especially given the fact that if the game just is handing you money hand over fist, it loses a lot of its potential.
But one of the big reasons why I feel doing Houlihan is valuable early, even on a seed where you have a lot of money, is it can set you up to potentially check Zora immediately after doing your fake flipper to Hobo and Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very valuable.
Let's see, we have a piece of heart in the basement.
And some lucky bombs. Some lucky bombs.
And holy crap, we have a power glove in the bar. Power glove in the tavern for RaikouRider. That is going to open up some things for him. Arrow upgrade for Joey.
Glove is one of those things that you really want to see early, and it looks like we have blue goo in the well as well, so we will see a check of the Sit Kid. If you don't find a bottle in Kakariko, it can take a very long time to be able to check Sit Kid sometimes.
Raikou not even trying a chicken clip there. A little disappointing.
I don't blame him.
Isn't bad though.
I don't blame him though. These are the top two runners of this group, and a reset to a chicken clip soft lock would be. It could make the difference in the race.
That would be a dumb way to go. We have arrows. We have rupees. Ooh, there's 300, and that will take care of that bottle problem.
Certainly, but he's...
That's also going to get Rai Zora money, or darn close to it. That puts him at, what, 455, it looks like? 475, I forgot about the 20. Yeah, he's going to be very close to making a very early Zora play.
There's also 30 rupees in the back, so he will have his Zora money.
Well, he will pay up 100 to the bottle vendor, though, so it's not like he's going to be keeping all 500 of that. But it does... Oh, Joey's trying to get a chicken clip, and it just bonks off the wall. Ah, well, props for trying.
Looks like we have a map check. What do we have?
Oh, ooh,
three crystals.
That is something.
Another thing to note is that none of those crystals are 5 and 6, so it's pretty unlikely that we will see an early Pyramid Fairy check.
I was about to say that, right? Going into the well. He's not going to get 600 from this check, but he's still going to be close. What's that bottle kid have?
Flippers.
Oh, hello!
Flippers, that is not only going to negate the need to fake Flipper, but because you have Flippers, you can get into the waterfall of wishing as well, so that greatly increases the value.
Well. Yep.
Greatly increases the value of doing Zora.
We're going to be getting those Flippers real soon, too.
Raikou already checked bottle.
Oh.
He already checked bottle vendor, so he has plenty of money.
Alright, and he may be going straight up there, just 50 bucks in the library. I guess that's, they have, late fees? They're just sitting around? And what do we have at the Amazing Race? Just a bomb upgrade.
10 bomb upgrade.
And Joe's gonna save and quit. It's a little interesting.
This save and quit's pretty standard.
I'm a little surprised he didn't try to swing around to Swamp and maybe do a mini Moldorm Cave.
It's
he
fast.
does have a fighter sword.
It is actually faster to save and quit to Link's house, but
He's saving quit the Sanctuary, though. That is very... Oh,
he's checking the sewers.
He's
checking the sewers.
The sewers, yeah. Makes perfect sense now.
If he's doing sewers beforehand, he may be looking for Zora money. We may also see him check escape early. Meanwhile, Raikou heading down to the dam.
He does have that lamp, so he doesn't have to worry about that dark room.
And half magic early. Half magic very early.
Right now he doesn't have anything to use it on, but...
This is a very good strategy by Joey here. He's actually going back...
We have a Master Sword! We have a Master Sword in the dam for RaikouRider.
Joey's going back...
That might be an early Aga.
Joey's going backwards through escape to check the one chest, which is a very good idea if you find a key downstairs when you check the graveyard sewers.
And we've seen this chest hold some really powerful items. I've seen silvers down here. I've seen Titansmiths down here. There could definitely be something of value. We have green goo pickup for Raikou, it looks like.
This seed is just handing out bottles to these players. We have a mirror!
Hello!
That is a big find.
That is a huge find. That almost might be... Let's see. He's got mirror, he's got lamp, he's got gloves. Isn't the place straight to Death Mountain from here? Oh,
I would be.
not. He's going to the dam.
This is the right play. I would be cleaning this out before I went to Death Mountain.
Let's see what we have in the mini Moldorm Cane. Little heart, big
lot
heart,
of love.
big heart. Ooh, Cane of Brian,
and a book.
That's a very interesting combo to see in there. And Joey is going to be getting his... Ooh, he pushed the wrong block.
With that book, Desert is an option. It's not a great option, but it is an option.
Oh, he forgot. He didn't have the mirror equipped, and he pushed the wrong block into place and couldn't get to the chest. Whoops. Raikou swinging around. It looks like he may be checking Ice Rod Cave?
He's probably going to go Ice Rod Cave to Lake Hylia to Hobo, and with all that money to check Zora.
You might as well at this point. 555 rupees, that's not going to do any good to sit in your pocket. Meanwhile, it looks like Joey's headed to east. No, he's the mini Moldorm Cave. Looked like he was going a bit further, but...
And $5 for Rise Trouble.
That is not going to buy you a lot of ice. Ooh, very nice save on that ledge. Not that it would have killed him, but it's... We have a book, we have a cane, and we have a bunch of love for Joey as well.
This is
still pretty evenly matched.
This is very interesting routing from Raikou. He's actually not jumping off the ledge that most people would to fake flipper. It is actually quite a bit faster to save and quit from Link's house if you have early flippers.
Right, no need to fake flipper, you got the real ones.
And it saves a lot of backtracking coming back.
Meanwhile, Joey is heading pretty much that same direction. There hasn't been much divergence except for that mirror. Joey has the lamp and the mirror from the escape, and that could be relevant.
And we have Bombos underneath the bridge.
And Joey's gonna pick that up again. Right, has a lot of the money, but
and a high five.
He does have that money, so if Zora has something critical, that might level things out. But right now, Joey does have a little bit of early lead. That mirror and that lamp give him a lot of exploration potential.
It will be very interesting to see when Raikou returns to escape.
Rai is going to Zora, and let's see if that Houlihan play is going to pan out. Where is Joey gonna go?
It'll be interesting to see where he is going. Where is he going?
There's also the Wishing Well. It's Sankheart at the Wishing Well.
Sankheart is usually not... Sankheart is usually not something you want to see early. Did Joey never check Ice Rod Cave?
He has not. He looks like he's going there now, and he's going to be disappointed because $5 will not get you a lot of ice.
We have a red cane on the ledge.
Oh, that's gotta be Kane. So Rai's trip up here is proving fruitful. Even if Zora just has a life lesson, he's still gonna be able to pick that up, and that is going to be something. It's gonna be interesting to see when Joey comes up and picks that.
I am not a big fan of early red canes in seeds myself.
They too often lead to trolls. Oh, we have a third bottle, so that's gonna be something.
From all the tournament coverage I've watched, an early red cane tends to lead to some very interesting item positions, particularly in dungeons like Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock and Misery Mire, yeah, both of them can be very hard to take out, especially if you only have that Master Sword.
And this seed just...
Joey, looks like Joey is headed up to Death Mountain, and this seems right. He's exhausted a lot of the easy places. Now time to go to one of the trickier ones. And Rai looks like he's headed to escape.
This seed just handing out bottles to these runners.
If the old man has the fourth bottle, I'm leaving.
But this play to check escape first makes sense.
I mean, he's going to get what he needs, or at least he's going to get what Joey has.
Even from his perspective, given that he has found the glove...
Hold up. We have silver arrows. Silver arrows off the old man in Death Mountain.
Very
that
nice.
Is big.
Very nice to see those early. So both of these runners are going to have silver arrows. You will not see any silverless Ganon in this seed.
However, we have the Master Sword. There's no guarantee that we're going to see any others. Master Sword on that first half of the end is still no easy feat.
I like this play on escape before Death Mountain, given the information that he has. Because since you have a Master Sword, you have a glove. That early glove is really pointing you away from Aga 1. I mean, it's certainly possible that Aga 1 could still be needed to get Dark World access, but given the knowledge he has right now, clearing out the rest of Hyrule Castle in one play, we have Tempered!
Well then.
This seed just handing out swords. Combat is going to be trivial in this seed.
We may have a Stoops Jet seed, especially if we have Mire and Turtle Rock as pendants. This could be very interesting indeed.
It will really depend on the dungeon layout for the Dark World. Depending on what the item placement is, especially once the runners get Dark World access, we could have a very, very quick race.
Yep. We have Joey taking our first delve into a dungeon. He's going into the Tower of Hera.
This is a good play for him. He has everything he needs to unconditionally finish this.
Yeah. Oh, there's a
finish this dungeon.
Yeah, that's just your random shield up there. He's gonna take his tiny shield and he's gonna mirror out.
I would not be unhappy to find a board at this point.
Raikou working on escape. Ooh, there's a very early big key. That hopefully means no trip down to the basement.
Big key in Hera is most often there.
Did
or
Joey
in the
ever
basement.
kill the guard guarding Zelda's chest? Oh, just the map. Joey taking a fall on Tower of Hera. Not really that bad, but it is annoying.
Not a big time loss at all. And the enemies actually do stay dead.
And another fall from Joey. That's gotta be a bit disheartening. There's only one enemy in the room. Come on, Joey, take him out. There we go. Right, check the back half of escape now as well.
Misses with the bomb.
Joey continuing to work through Tower Hera.
Rai electing to save and quit. It'll be very interesting to see which route he goes.
Got some more money here.
He's heading back up to the castle.
There hasn't been anything big that's cut anyone and really changed the pace of this. Joey does have that slight lead, but this early in the seed, I don't think we can call any lead that notable.
Certainly not, but Joey is going...
Mordor treats him, though. He's thinking about what he wants. Gets out the bombs.
Certainly not, but Raikou is going to lose a bit of time here.
And with 2 falls already, he might be thinking about the can't burn a strats, and almost takes a fall there.
I don't think Raikou was paying attention when he got the 3 treasure chests in the sewers, because he has a small key and he could have just gone the back road to get to the chest in the sewers. So Joey is going to pick up a bit of time on him here. So overall, I would say right now, Joey has a very small lead, but those kinds of leads can evaporate quickly once the seed opens up, and we do have Joey claiming the first crystal of the match.
We also have Rai picking up his mirror. He does not seem too thrilled to find it that late. And let's see what Joey's gonna go from here. At this point, it seems they're looking for Dark World access. That's gonna come through most likely a mitt, a hammer, or maybe a flute.
Raikou heading to the desert. This is an interesting call.
Meanwhile, Joey's going straight to Aga 1?
He might be going to Aga 1. This is an interesting call.
He's taken out the entire escape. I can't see any other reason to go to Hyrule Castle.
Yes, he is...
Oh, no, he's not going into... Oh, did he not finish all of Escape? Is there something... Oh, he never got the chest that Zelda normally is sitting in. So that may be something lingering that he's got on his mind.
If that's definitely...
Never did the front half Escape, yeah.
That's definitely a decision that can be made. Raikou heading into Desert...
Tempered Sword, you have the glove. You just hope that there isn't something really important stuck on that torch. That's the one thing that is a little bit worrying when you don't have boots. Rai's gonna check it right now, it looks like.
I still think Desert is a defensible play here. It's not the best play, but it's defensible. And we have a small key on the torch, so he will need to come back here to finish this dungeon.
Yep. And it looks like he's just gonna poke around, see if he can't get items or information.
That is a heart container, so he is actually done in this dungeon because...
He can't get any further unless he steals the key from the backside, and I don't think he wants to do that. Not this early.
That's never a good idea. It just takes too long to get... It takes too long to get some items.
Rai seemed to be debating where he wanted to take this, and went to Sanctuary. He's going to make his trip to Death Mountain now.
Yes, he's going to Death Mountain with...
And Joey's headed off to Eastern. He's probably going to pop into Sahasrara's hut.
And probably check out Eastern Palace, too. I do not blame him for making this play at all.
I've never been too fond of making a play on Eastern without a bow, or at least having an idea. He's also... Ooh, he missed that bomb. That's unusual.
I would agree with you in older logics, Alge, but with the...
Hell, we got boots. We got cape. Ooh. We got boots, we got cape, we got heart. We got triple red in Sahasrara's hut.
This is one of the reasons why I actually like checking Eastern early in this logic. In previous logics, I would agree with you, but in this logic, because Eastern is accessible without any items...
Oh, did you... Raikou's face when he saw silver arrows up in Death Mountain, that was something. Meanwhile, Joey's headed straight to the desert, it looks like.
Doing everything he can to put Aga 1 off, but Aga 1 is looking more and more like it's going to end up being required for Dark World access.
There is a chance, but yeah, at some point you just have to resign yourself to it. And he's ducking. Where is?
He's farming rupees. He's farming rupees for Zora. If you don't Houlihan, this is the best place in the game to get rupees. The only thing it requires is a lift upgrade.
I have noticed that I don't see that many players doing the Chris Houlihan strats. Is it just new tech that people aren't used to, or is it there are other reasons?
It takes time. It takes a significant amount of time to Chris Houlihan. It's about 45 seconds. There are definitely...
I'm sorry, I just saw the bunny sprite for RaikouRider. That's clever. The Pokeball. And let's see... Ooh, was that a boomerang up on the ledge in the desert?
I think it was.
Okay.
I don't foresee either of these runners grabbing that.
No. Lord Banana will stay in his place, it seems. And, I like this routing, checking Agena before heading into the desert. Oh, and how good was that?
That is a really mean place to put the Moon Pearl.
It is a real mean place, but he picked it up before he went Dark World, so it's gonna work out for him. Meanwhile, we have Rai in Tower of Hera.
I think if you're Joey, you do Aga 1 now.
He is going to clear out desert. I don't blame him. It's a crystal. He knows he can full clear it, and he's right here. Especially if you don't find a way to Dark World, you definitely take Aga 1 right after this, but he's right here. Why not get rid of it?
True. I was more thinking after this dungeon, but if there is a progression item in here, that's going to give Joey a huge advantage, because that will be items that Rai does not have.
I mean, I have to assume Rai will probably be tracking. He will see that Sahasrara's hut is a place he hasn't been. He's going to find those boots. The question is, how long is it going to be before he finds them?
I think he'll go to Sahasrara and possibly Eastern before doing Aga 1. Aga 1 is a significant time investment. It's about 4.5 minutes.
Especially if you have other options. It's probably not the best to take if you have other ways to get there.
I don't necessarily think it's a very last resort, but it's definitely something that you only should do when you're very low on options, or you have a reason to believe that the seed is Aga 1 required.
Meanwhile, we have Raikou taking care of Trolldorm.
With
no
that
trolling there.
Well, certainly not with that Tempered Sword. We have a Fire Shield in a desert. That's going to be very valuable for these Dark World dungeons.
What? I'm actually not sure. What is the big difference between the shields? I know the Riot Shield can reflect the I-beams in Turtle Rock. I'm not sure what the difference between the small shield and the Fire Shield is.
The Fire Shield can deflect fireballs. The The small shield can only deflect basic weaponry such as arrows.
Okay. Learn something new every day, folks.
The only projectile that Riot Shield cannot block are Beamos beams.
Nothing stopping Beamos.
Looks like Rai is making the play to Eastern. It'll be interesting to see if he actually goes into the dungeon, or as soon as he finds those boots, he might either return to Desert or go to Aga 1.
It's going to be very interesting whichever way he takes. Meanwhile, we have an Aga 1 play from Joey. I think this is... Oh wait, no, he's still in Desert. My mistake.
I imagine Aga 1 is going to be his next play.
I can't see him not. Quite the fashion statement, Sahasrara. You've got the boots, you got the cape. That's something.
Frankly, that cape is even more of a reason to go to Aga 1. The seed is really pushing players there.
In case you hadn't found the second sword upgrade, yeah, that's a pretty strong indicator. And it looks like Raiko is going to dig Eastern a little.
It'll be interesting to see what he gets out of Eastern. I've seen a lot of very valuable items in that palace in this logic.
Meanwhile, let's see how the Landmos treat Joey. He's a little low on health, but he should be fine.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He has Tempered Sword. These Landmos just melt to Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I mean, people also have to realize, Joey was the bubble boy for the main tournament. The top 87 got in. He got 88. He is no slouch.
Both of these are very strong runners, so it should be interesting. Joey, I would put him on probably about a 2-minute lead right now.
I wouldn't know how to quantify a lead. We're still not even half an hour into this seed. Even though it might not take more than an hour and a half, we'll find out. That's two Triforces for two crystals for Joey, my mistake.
I based this estimate on the amount of time he's had the boots versus Raiko, as well as some routing decisions that I've seen. Raiko has made a couple of minor misroutes in this seed, even based on the information that he's had. The biggest routing mistake I've seen from him so far is not using the key to backdoor into the sewers chest.
It definitely has cost him some time. That being said, well, again, it's early. We'll see where things go. Where is... That does not look like a trip to Aga 1.
He's checking Zora now that he's checking Zora now that he has money, and this is the one routing advantage that Raiko has had. By going to Chris Houlihan, he was able to avoid a return trip to Zora like this, and since he has the flippers, he can check these items. He's gonna find his red cane, but he'll be disappointed with the rest of it.
No, really. Oh,
that's a fire rod in Eastern Palace.
And Eastern paying off for Raiko, and he's out of there. He doesn't have a bow to get any further, it looks like.
He has all 3 items. He doesn't need to do anything more in the dungeon.
Right, that's all he needs to kill the Armos statues, but he knows that he can't.
He can kill the Armos. He can kill the Armos statue. He can kill the Armos statue. He can get all the way up to the room with the red Armos statue in it, but he wouldn't be able to progress any further without a bow.
Right, and oh, there's a bonk. Get out your bonk trackers, people.
He's checking bonk rocks, and then I imagine he'll make a play for Aga 1.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine that Joey will be doing much the same once he gets this cane. At this point, there's I'm
sorry, go ahead.
There's still not been a... There's been a little bit of route divergence, but there hasn't been a lot of real difference.
Oh, he's going back to Desert to finish that dungeon, because...
As far as he knows, there's a Titan's Mitts in there or something of that nature.
He's probably set on Aga 1 not being required, but we know that based on all the information that we've seen throughout the seed that this is an Aga 1 required seed, because between the 2 runners, they have checked every other spot that is accessible to them with the current items they have.
And we have Joey going to Eastern. They've probably come to the conclusion that neither wants to do Aga 1. We know they're stuck having to do it.
Wonderful spin speed by Joey Mittens.
And that is a very interesting way to get it done, but it does get the job done.
Spin speed is not easy to do.
So again, these two runners are probably going to be give or take neck and neck as they go into AGA 1 once they finish these respective dungeons.
I don't blame them for putting off AGA 1 this long, especially with the gloves.
And there's also a little bit of metagaming into things. Both of these know that their opponent is good. If they take AGA 1, they know it's a dud, that's 5 minutes they wasted, and if their opponent didn't take that, that could be the game right there.
Certainly. Certainly, these two runners were very, very close in qualifying.
As they continue to go through, there's another heart. The game's been pretty generous with love, too. We have, is that 12 hearts a side at this point?
That is 12 hearts per side, but I would not be terribly happy with that, considering the color of my shirt right now.
That is true. I mean, you do have that spiffy new cape, though.
That's only going to help so much. I mean, with half magic, it's useful, but
well, they have the Cane of Berna as well. It's not a fashion statement, but it's protection.
It is, but when you get into those Dark World dungeons and you only have so much magic to work with, because those two items will just tear right through your magic bar.
Yep. So Joey is done in Eastern. He's not going to go any further. He is,
he's realizing he's exhausted all his options, and he's going to go straight for the castle.
Meanwhile, it looks like Raikou. Is there anywhere else he has? Oh, he hasn't checked the Regina's cave, but
he's going to check that. He's going to check that after. He's going to check that after he's done with this dungeon, and then he's going to go straight to AGA 1 because he has exhausted all of his options.
Yep, both of them, and it looks like, about a 2-minute lead, give or take, going into AGA 1, but there's still plenty of race left to go.
Oh, certainly. Look at Joey's movement throughout this seed. It's been so crisp. And that's where he's going to gain time on Raikou. His movement's so much better.
Movement does count for a lot in this game. Hugging those pillars, the extra couple pixels. It's the little things that can really set things up for you. And Raikou, is he on Fire Rod stats for these Landmos?
Landmolas are weak to Fire Rod. The Landmolas have 16 HP apiece. The Tempered Sword does 4 damage. The Fire Rod does 8 damage. So 2 Fire Rod swings will kill a Landmole. And I've actually seen people fight Landmoles with the Ice Rod because there's been very early Ice Rods in Seeds. And the Landmoles are actually weak to Ice Rod, too.
Very interesting. The Ice Rod does have a bit different swing physics, if memory serves, so the timing is going to be a bit wonky.
It has a wind-up to its shot. Its shot has a little bit of delay in getting to top speed, so it's a little bit more difficult to time. It's actually somewhat similar to the timing for shooting Landmos with the bow, which is what you would see in an NMG run.
Sure, sure. As the game loves giving you that really early bow. I'm sure both our players would have not minded that here. Raikou picking up his Moon Pearl, and he's
not happy
to
about
AGA 1 as well.
He was not happy about that.
Hey, look at Joey, that poker face. I mean, obviously our runners can't see it, but he is just cool as the other side of the pillow right now.
He's got to feel he's ahead by now with his routing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. He does have to realize there hasn't been anything that has been really a tripping point per se. Honestly, the biggest mistake he's made so far is those 2 minor falls in Tower of Hera. That was only 2nd floor. So, Joey about to start the AGA 1 fight, and Raikou just getting into the AGA 1 tower. So that's about a 4 to 5 minute lead.
It's probably closer to 2.5 to 3 because the AGA 2 fight takes a long time. Or AGA 1, I'm sorry.
Fair. The AGA 2 fight isn't that much quicker.
Depends on how good you are at geometry, but we'll get to that later.
There's not much to say about Aga, just hope for not as many of those. So, Raikou won his first match, where Joey lost his, which Joey does have a bit of a chip on his shoulder, I would imagine, taking that loss to Q Blitz. That was a little bit of routing mismanagement, if memory serves.
I believe there was a big routing issue, and I want to say there was an untimely death or two. Joey threw Aga 1, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. Because
35-50 at the split. Let's see what he takes.
He actually does.
Let's see what's on Pyramid.
He does not have a lot of access to Dark World right now, and we have a lift upgrade.
He does now.
We have a lift upgrade on the Pyramid. So he is going to immediately save and quit, probably go to Village of Outcasts and start knocking out these Dark World dungeons.
Village of Outcasts, I would imagine, he's got the ability to full clear Swamp Woods, or Skull Woods as well. And he's... Oh, he goes back to Light World to save? I guess it's quicker access to Kakariko and Village of Outcasts from there?
The reason why you would...
Sanctuary?
Oh, he's going to Dark Death Mountain. He might be going to Dark Death Mountain. It's one of the two places.
If he was going to Dark Death Mountain, wouldn't he have taken the Old Man Cave?
True. I got caught up in trying to explain why he mirrored out before he saved the save and quit. When you go to, or once you kill Aga 1 and you do a save and quit, you'll actually spawn on top of the pyramid if you save and quit out of the Dark World. So if you want to restart from the Light World, you actually need to mirror back and then do a save and quit. In order for that condition to take place, you need to both have Aga 1 dead and have the mirror. It's just a quirk of the randomizer to keep you from getting soft locked in the Dark World.
That makes sense. Raikou about to start his Aga 1 fight. And let's see what the Village of Outcasts has. Oh, we have... Ooh, this is very interesting. We have Ice Palace, Skull Woods, and Turtle Rock. Or Ice Palace, Thieves Town, and Turtle Rock as our pendants. Turtle Rock is a pendant. That does rule out a lot of the potential pedestals. It looks like Joey might be just going straight to Skull Woods, and I cannot blame him one bit. He knows it's a crystal. The 5 and 6 look like Pod and Misery Mire.
Yes, you're correct. So, pretty unlikely that we will see a double-chested fairy check.
Is indeed unlikely. It's also unlikely we're gonna have a pedestal seed. Turtle Rock does knock out a lot of the potential, although I will confess that Thieves Town does offer... Thieves Town doesn't need anything special to get through. Thieves Town is also the green pendant. They might just dig that out. You do have the 4 quick items. Blind's fight is not that hard. You do have that extra item from turning it in.
And they have so many hearts.
Yeah, the blind fight should be pretty free if they decide to take it. But time will tell to see if they even need to bother.
And if they need to, they also have that blue. They also have that blue goo. But that's something they might want to consider saving for some more difficult dungeons.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you have Vitreous, which isn't going to be a walk in the park. You have Mafia Control. You have all of GT. There's plenty better places to use that blue goo.
Looks
Setting
like
up for the bomb jump.
Oh, the easiest bomb jump in the game.
And ooh, he's down to 1 heart though.
He's probably gonna mark his place outside the dungeon. Oh, he's popping his blue goo. Interesting. I would have actually
just talking about that. Yeah, just mark your place right outside of the dungeon. Worst case, you just have to walk right in. Gets a second try though. Raikou also with the map check. And yes, it's Misery Mire and Palace of Darkness that are the important crystals, and Thieves Town is the green pendant.
So with Ice Palace and T-Rock both being pendants, plus we have an early red cane.
This could be very quick, yeah.
Also, bear in mind that the only reason that you would need T-Rock, or you need Ice Rod for T-Rock, is to defeat Trinex. So technically, once they find the medallion to get into T-Rock, that is an option for them.
That is an option, but that T-Rock is a very big dungeon, and there aren't really... I guess there are 5 items you can pick up, but the odds of T-Rock holding a critical item are not really... Oh, hang on. We have a pedestal check.
There is a pedestal check. It'll be very interesting.
Head check from Joey. Let's see, chat. What do we got? Time for a change of clothes?
That's a mail upgrade. That's a very interesting thing to put at the pedestal. So it's entirely possible that these runners are going to have to do this entire seed with just green tunic. I think that's going to impact the runners' decisions.
A bit. I don't think either of them are going to go out of their way to fetch it.
Oh, certainly not.
I honestly think, unless Trinex is guarding an item, unless Trinex is guarding a plot item, I don't think either of them are going to make a play back there.
Both of these runners are good enough to complete the game on green tunic. They don't want to do it. And Raikou with the first try bomb jump, disappointed to find a key.
And we have both runners going through Skull Woods. This is very easily the right play.
There's been very little
of is there going to be anything really worth it? Oh, we'll find out.
There's been very little deviation in this seed in general. It's been, for the most part, pretty linear. Those Titan's Mitts are going to open up the seed a bit, but I foresee them taking mostly the same route until after Hype Cave and cleaning out Southwest Dark World. That was a brilliant Mothula fight from Joey.
Very, very clean. Honestly, I think, to be completely honest, Raikou probably needs a bit of route divergence, and he needs one to pay off. If we just see them taking the same path, Rai is 2 to 3 minutes behind. He has to do something different if he wants to get that time back. And Raikou is pulling out the fire rod. He'll probably just do his ped check after, most likely. If he decides to check it all. I think that checking the pedestal is really useful if you have a reason to be in Skullwoods anyway, and you have the mirror.
And it's also just, it's VT26. 1 in 16 seeds are ped seeds.
Yeah, let's not forget the propensity of VT26 to troll at every opportunity. It hasn't yet, that just means we haven't found it.
What could And you actually have to thinking. Raikou does have to actually think about what could be there. Even with the knowledge he has, there's not a lot of items that can actually be at the pedestal, but one thing that can be there,
for him is the flute.
Hookshot. Hookshot can be there.
Hookshot could be there as well.
But we know it's a male upgrade, and it's something he probably won't be too happy to see there. This is very interesting pathing from Joey checking.
Correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't check any of Villager Outcast yet, did he?
No, he has not. This is very interesting pathing. He might actually be going to get Catfish out of the way, which I think it's a bit early to check Catfish. He could also just be cleaning out King's Tomb now that he has the boots to get in there. And we do see that Raikou about to get the same bad news that there's a male upgrade.
And you could see him roll his eyes when he saw what that was. And so, taking out all these random item places is Joey. If he finds something big here, that could really add to his lead. Or if there's a bunch of nothing, this could be a bit more flattening.
Just some bombs. But this is not a bad location to get out of the way early, because
sure. And you can never be too rich or have too many bombs.
This particular location, especially the cliff cave, can often turn out to be a loose square, because generally at this point in the seed there's very little value in coming up to North Dark World. It's really just to check 3 locations most of the time, those being
the Cliff Cave, the King's Tomb, and Bumper Cave.
Bumper Cave, yes.
And now it looks like he's going to Village of Outcasts. Let's see. And Raiko is also clearing that out. Let's see if we have anything cool here.
We might actually have a high five. We do.
Yep,
we have a high five at the door.
And so again, not very much difference in the routing.
The seed hasn't. The seed only just opened up, and this is the correct route to take through Dark World. This is by far the most common route that you'll see early on.
Oh, for sure. Raiko, technically with a couple seconds lead, but that's really not really... Oh, Raiko, really? Raiko going Independent Thieves Town, and he didn't check the rest of Village of Outcasts. This could come back to bite him, or it could pay off very, very well.
He probably thinks he's behind. One thing I've noticed about most of his races, both in last year's tournament and in this year's tournament, is he plays every single race like he's behind.
Well, he's behind now. Hookshot was in that doorless house just south of the chess game.
He'll get that after he's done with this dungeon.
That's
whenever he decides to leave.
More time he's missing. And let's see if Alec Baldwin's thinking game has anything. This could widen the gap a bit more, even.
It really depends on if there's anything in Thieves Town, and it's a defensible play to check Thieves Town right now because it is green pendant.
Pendant, and you do have these 4 quick chests. I'm not sure if it's right to clear out the whole thing, though.
Given what he has found so far, it's probably right to keep going. I feel that if you find more than 1 item on this floor, then it is generally defensible to leave, but he's going to clear out this whole dungeon.
Meanwhile, we have the Frog World Tour going on.
This is pretty standard. The Frog World Tour into Gary's lunchbox is pretty standard.
Yeah, no powder to combo Mad Batter in with all this, but we'll see what... He also does have the book, so he can check Bombos right after turning in the lunchbox. Raiko going for the swag pixel, not getting anywhere with it.
So it'll be very interesting to see what's in the rest of Thieves Town. He won't be able to check the big chest, though, because he has no hammer. Neither one of these runners have found the hammer yet.
The hammer is a little bit of a sticking point. And, well, let's see. Oh, just the map up there. Also, anything that might be a bit of a loose square for Joey. He was not able to, because he didn't have the hammer, he wasn't able to check the peg game either.
Map and compass have not been found in Thieves Town yet, so there is an item that he is going to leave behind here.
Yeah, he did pick up the map, but yes, well, there's a bunch of cash in that cliff cave.
Interesting that Joey turned it down.
I mean, what are you going to spend it on? Maybe a potion?
Potions. I would have picked up that money with Green Tunic.
And Joey did already blow his blue goo. I can defend that. Oh, there's the inferior model. If the inferior model is old Stumpy.
And he has no shovel, so he won't be able to check.
Yeah, that's not exactly what he wanted to find, I'm sure.
And now Raiko coming to the realization that he is going to need to leave an item behind in this Thieves Town. So if there's not something at blind, Joey is going to have a huge lead.
Yeah, this entire trip through Thieves Town would have been almost a complete bust. But we do get to see the blind punt. That makes it all worth it. A novice skier often A novice skier often jumps to conclusions, but Joey just got another sword upgrade. That's all for. Got some hot melted butter in the lunchbox.
Very unusual for 26 to give out such an early butter sword. We're what, 50 minutes into the seed and Joey already has butter sword?
That is very interesting.
And $20 for Raikou's trouble.
However, that green pendant does give him one more saving grace whenever he decides to turn it in, though I don't think he's going to be turning it in for a while.
He'll probably turn it in after Palace of Darkness. Raikou not happy with Thieves Town.
He looks confused, in all honesty. I'm not sure he knows what he wants to do here.
Where's he going?
He's going to Digging Game and Frog World Tour, but he left that loose square. That's gonna waste even more time. Let's see what Hype Cape has.
This is a big routing mistake, and we have our fourth bottle.
And another blue goof for Joey. That bails him out. There's the last shield as well. A lot of progressive items being found rather early.
You see that first dig?
The one dig.
One digging game.
Must be nice to be that good.
So he's coming back up to do the Frog World Tour. Let's see if he remembers that he did not check that one chest.
I mean, we're looking at his tracker. He hasn't mismarked it off, so that's...
It's very interesting that he hasn't checked this yet, and this could get him in even more trouble.
As we see Joey going straight up to Death Mountain, he's gonna do the back half.
Great hook speed, too.
He's going to do He's gonna do all of Death Mountain with that hook shot now. Oh, just 3 bombs from the blacksmiths.
So hopefully he remembers to check that bombable hut before delivering Gary's lunchbox, because this will be his last good opportunity that he has to check it. And see a hook shot. When he goes back to check for that hook shot, he is not going to be happy. Meanwhile, Joey continuing his excavation of Death Mountain. And with that butter sword, these bosses are going to die very quickly, so combat is going to be...
Oh, there's that blue mail on Joey's side.
Combat's going to be pretty trivial, especially with that blue mail.
Net first service.
Pretty sure Joey's happy to see that as well. The seed being very, very generous with the safety items.
And keep in mind, that 4th bottle also had blue goo, so he has that now. Right, with a mirror ball. Oh, no, that wasn't a mirror ball. My mistake.
That's actually a very...
It was a mirror ball.
It was, yes. That's a very common place to mirror bonk, actually.
And he decided to double back and take the cash, actually. Probably for potions.
That's a good play.
Meanwhile, Joey... What does Joey even need for go mode? He's got the book that's not marked. He needs flute. He needs hammer. He needs whatever medallion gets him into Mire, and I think that's it.
I think it's just flute, hammer, and medallions, yeah. He's getting pretty close to go mode.
Yeah, and if Mire is Bombos, he's 2 away. Opens the... he's gonna check.
Raikou picking up his butter sword.
We have Quake to unlock Turtle Rock. Not that it probably matters.
With how early we have Turtle Rock access, though, that could easily be relevant. Good idea to check that.
I mean, it's a tiny bit of time, and it gives you a lot of information. If it were Bombos, I still don't think the play is right to go in, but you know that you have it as an option.
I would actually
Let's
consider
see what
it.
Hookshot Cave is. We got 1 piece of heart, 2 piece of heart, 3 bombs. 3 pieces of heart and 3 bombs. A partridge and a pear tree.
Not very generous.
See where else he's gonna go from here.
He's probably checking a spiral cave.
Spiral cave and then probably spike cave on the back half of that as well.
He doesn't have a hammer. He can't check spike cave.
Oh, right. It's so easy to get those pegs in front of the spikes.
Oh, and I've also seen runners go into try to check spike cave when they have a cape and a hammer, and they realize they can't check it because they don't have a lift upgrade. You actually do need a lift upgrade to lift the block at the end of spike cave.
Raikou just checked hype cave and did he? No, there's still that loose square in Kakariko in Village of Outcasts.
It'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to go back there.
Every second. Oh, thankfully for him, the damage from checking Dark Death Mountain was rather minimal. Because Joey got really not much out of it.
Where is he going?
Is he going to Pod, maybe?
No, if he was going to...
He's cashing in the mushroom and going to Catfish. He got the mushroom up in the Paradox Cave, that's what he's doing. And since he's here, he's probably gonna turn into the mushroom first, and then
Is he going to Ice Palace? Oh no, he's saving and quitting.
Right? Why would you go to Ice Palace, especially right now? I guess... Is there any other dungeon he can get into, though?
I think he might actually be realizing that he left that loose square there. He's headed straight back to Kakariko.
Yeah, and that's gonna open up all of Death Mountain for him. Meanwhile, only 50 bucks at the Witch's Hut, but he didn't convert that to Catfish. A little interesting. It seems like the least bad place to try and compare them together.
Even so, Catfish does take a long time to get to, so it's not an unreasonable gamble.
Yeah, right.
To leave Catfish alone.
Yeah, Rai's going straight into that hut. He's gonna find that hookshot. This is a little bit of a concern. Rai has been prone to tilting every now and again. If he finds this hookshot, he might spiral. Meanwhile, where's Joey going? He already got that square.
I am unsure where
Joey
he is going.
Into Thieves Town.
He might be making a play there.
And he's going to find out there's nothing there.
He's going there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. This is gonna put Raikou back into this race.
It really is. He was in real dire straits, like that hookshot go, but they're still both looking for that hammer and that flute.
It depends on if Joey full clears the dungeon. He might check the first 4 chests and leave. It really depends on whether he full clears the dungeon. He is saving time all over in movement with this hookshot.
I agree. You wouldn't think of the hookshot as a real time-saving item like this, but it's definitely counting.
It is. So Raikou making his rounds through North Dark World as well. It'll be interesting if he checks Catfish.
A little bit too short a reach there on that hookshot.
It can be difficult to gauge.
Sometimes it looks like it goes all the way across the screen. Other times you realize not so much.
Having a little bit of trouble getting that door open.
Yeah, just a little. All for 20 bucks. That's not gonna help matters. And it looks like, Joey is going to at least clear a bit more of Thieves Town. That's going to be time that Raikou can use to potentially get back into it. They're going to be at parity, but at this point, one of them's going to have to take a route divergence, and that's probably going to determine who wins.
So after checking Death Mountain...
Joey with the God Pixel.
After checking Death Mountain, the big question is, where do you go from here? Because you're out of good options.
I mean, we're looking at the trackers. There's the Death Mountain Squares. There's the Witch's Hut. Yeah, there's no. I'm trying to think of what bosses they can beat.
I think you gotta gamble on either Ice Palace or Pod. Neither option is very good right now because the runners are missing both the bow and the hammer.
Yeah, the bow, the hammer, and the flute. Yeah, those are the 3 items they all need.
So wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something if the hammer was in Swamp Palace?
The hammer in Swamp Palace would be something, because you do need that. Is the hammer required to clear Swamp Palace?
The hammer is required for everything in Swamp Palace except one chest.
Oh, wow.
There is one chest that you can get to in Swamp Palace.
The miser's one of them. Wouldn't that be a bit of a troll?
I've actually seen the hammer there before in, I think, 21 Logic. I've seen the hammer there.
21 was something else. Oh.
Yeah, 21 was definitely a Logic.
Sure, let's go with that. Meanwhile, rescuing the damsel in distress that is blind is Joey.
I do find it interesting that neither one of them came in here without a. Neither one of them came into Thieves Town with a hammer.
I mean, not even the commentators know where it is, so.
Yeah, no one knows where this hammer is. I mean, what's the next progression item?
No one knows where the bow is. No one knows where the flute is. Flute is gonna be required to get them in the Misery Mire as well. And Joey pulling out Cane of Samaria. I'm interested to see what he plans to do with that.
The reason why I would use Cane of Samaria in this fight is because Blind's health actually works a little bit differently than every other boss in the game. Blind per phase takes 3 hits from any weapon. So
and
Blind doesn't actually
counts as 1?
Yes. So if you can actually stick a Cane of Samaria block on top of Blind, you can get multiple hits in. It's pretty difficult to do.
Doesn't look like you got anywhere with it, though. There's also that green pendant. What if Sahasrara has the progression item?
That's entirely possible, and I think it'll be interesting to see when one of them makes a play for Palace of Darkness if they'll remember to check Sahasrara. But I think Palace of Darkness is probably the best play that the runners can make right now.
Let's see if Joey's going to take that play. He's going to save and quit, and right, taking a red potion from the, is that the Death Mountain shop?
Yes, it's very common for him to buy a red potion there. You're right there. It only takes a few seconds, and especially if you don't have a flute to get to the potion shop quickly, that's the only other real convenient place you can go buy a potion.
That's all well and good. He's also got 2 blues and a green. It seems a little bit much, don't you think?
Why not? You're there.
Oh, there's the single arrow, if anyone was wondering about that. And
Joey's going to Catfish.
He's going to Catfish.
Joey's going to Catfish.
This could have a progression item. This could be big.
If there's a progression item here, this could be another big stumbling block for Raikou.
He does not like Catfish, we've noticed. Hookshot, he's just going to get a lot of little love. Oh, but that one heals. That actually is kind of relevant.
That's great timing.
Yeah, he was at, what, 2.5 it looked like? And speaking of heart containers, there's another one.
Just some love from Catfish. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of play. He's not obeying.
Nope.
Or he's not mirroring back. Looks like he might actually be making the Palace of Darkness play, which is the correct play.
Very nice hook speed on that staircase.
Hook speed is a lot easier than getting spin speed. But he's showing
mirror bonking on the pyramid.
He's showing great knowledge of the game. It'd be interesting to see if he has any kind of time in NMG. But Joey making the play for Palace of Darkness. The reason why I like this play so much without hammer or bow even is because generally in Palace of Darkness, if you get bow blocked, you're going to get bow blocked pretty quickly. If the first chest in Palace of Darkness does not contain a key, then it is required to get the bow to go anywhere else in the dungeon.
Alright. He did not turn in the green pendant on the way to Palace of Darkness, though, which is interesting. And Raikou is going to turn in that pendant first, it looks like.
This is actually a routing mistake from him.
Oh, Joey lost Kiki. And only 20 bucks
20 bucks from the old man. Not happy with that.
Thankfully, Joey having to go out. Thankfully, now he's going to turn in the green pendant since he has to go back and get Kiki. He's also going to be disappointed, but he's also going to go right into Pod, whereas Raikou... Is Raikou making a play for Ice Palace now?
He might be making a play for Ice Palace. This is a very interesting play, but this is the right play if you feel you're behind.
And knowing where Raikou's found stuff, especially with that hook shot, I know he thinks he's behind.
Like, Palace of Darkness is the safe play, but this is the play that you make if you're ahead, because runners don't like coming in here. This dungeon only has 3 items in it, and it takes a very long time to get to any of them except the first item. So you will see some runners make a play for the whole dungeon, and you'll see some runners make a play for just the first chest.
And it's going to be interesting to see which one Raikou does. We have seen from the last tournament, he does at least know the Ice Palace bomb jump. That is going to save him a significant amount of time if he decides he has to full clear this. And with Butter Sword and the hookshot, combat at least is not going to be any difficulty.
And that's a hammer!
Hello!
Hammer in Ice Palace, and he is gone.
The risky play turns out to be the right play. And where's he gonna go from here? Does he go Swamp, most likely?
This hammer is going to swing the race considerably towards Raikou.
Oh, hang on. Joey seems to be going in a direction that looks like it might be Ice Palace. He struck out with that first chest. Yeah, Joey's going to Ice, so Raikou's lead is not going to be that great. He is going to save a tiny bit of time in, Oh, no! Joey's not going to Ice, Joey's going to Zora! Why is... Oh, no, it looks like he missed. He hit it on accident.
So with that hammer, Raikou is going to be going to Swamp Palace. This is a good play. It's a crystal dungeon, you need to finish it anyway, and from the way he's played previously, he really likes full clearing Swamp Palace.
Swamp Palace has 6 items. It's definitely possible it's got one of the other 2 he's missing.
It's 6 items, but the argument against it is it does take a lot of time to clear the dungeon fully, whereas if you can enter Swamp Palace in Go mode, other than that initial key on the first floor, you can clear the dungeon without opening a single chest.
Definitely something to keep in mind. But, Joey's gonna have his hammer in just a moment as well. And look at that quad kill on those penguins.
And I would say after Joey finds this hammer, this race is gonna be all tied up.
Very interesting. Joey didn't up A. Is he thinking there's another item in here?
He might full clear Ice Palace. Oh, this very interesting call. This is not the call I would make, but this is very interesting.
If the bow or the right medallion's in there, it's gonna be an amazing call.
And if there is something else required in here, it's going to be a nightmare for Raikou to come back here.
Oh yeah, if there is something else in here, that might be the game. Joey is having a bit of difficulty flipping that switch, though.
That's a tough throw. It's something that you have to get used to.
He looks a bit disgusted that he missed that throw, actually.
He's been playing very, very well.
It also is important to note that, oh, he's going for the double kill on the skeletons. Oh, and he got him.
That's a That's a good strat. It takes a bit of time to learn the setup, but once you know how to do it, it's not actually too terrible. Don't forget the key.
He didn't forget the key, and that's actually not the setup I've seen a lot of people using for that double. It works, but it's definitely... Oh,
he's leaving now. He's decided enough's enough.
Yeah, but that's still about, what, a minute and a half? That's time that he might think he had, but he really doesn't.
After finding that hammer, he's got to think he's in pretty good shape.
That is true. We, as the commentators, know that Raikou found it a minute or so ago, but he has to think that he's in good shape. And making the obvious play going straight to swamp.
So now, all of a sudden, with the timing of finding that hammer, the tables on this race have turned, and this is the closest that this race has been since the start.
I'd say it's the closest it's been since the AGA 1.
Since AGA 1, once the seed opened up.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I wonder, does Raikou think he might be tied or in the lead, or does he still think he's way behind? Because he does still have to clear Eastern. He still needs the bow to do it.
He can't clear Eastern or Pod. He needs the bow.
Yeah, he can't clear Eastern, can't clear Pod, can't clear Meyer because he doesn't have a way in.
So he's got to think something is here.
He's got to think something is here. He also, in the back of his mind, Pendant Turtle Rock. You have the Fire Rod, you have the Cane. Well, you do need Quake. That is the one sticking point, but what if Quake's in here? If Quake's in here, you have to consider it. It's one of those things you hate to do. Digging Pendant Turtle Rock for one item that you need. Oh.
It's a lot of items, though. It's definitely something that's got to be on his mind.
We have bombs, and we have a map pickup.
And what is at Vanilla Big Key?
Vanilla Big Key.
Vanilla Big Key. How vanilla?
I thought this seed was supposed to be randomized.
Well, with dungeon items, it's more common because they can only appear in dungeons.
I'll give you that.
I only get to yell at VTorp whenever there's an overworld item that's not, say, a heart piece or a red rupee or something that's very common in his vanilla spot.
And $5 in that big old chest, that's not exactly what you want to see. Raikou also needs to be careful about his health. He's down to 2 hearts.
I would not be surprised to see him drink a potion soon.
I mean, hopefully he remembers he's got that red. I would definitely drink that one over the 2 blues you got.
He knows he has it. He bought that red potion on Death Mountain.
He does have a small lead, and he's gonna burn even more time draining these. It's the right play with he's still gotta find items, but it's wasting. It is wasting a bit of time.
This is the right call, though. You have to full clear this.
The right call. You don't want it to be the right call, though, and especially because there's nothing there.
At 4 hearts, I don't think you have to be concerned about dying now. He knew there were 2 hearts down there.
That's fair.
And that's a bow in the bottom of Swamp Palace.
That's a bow in the bottom of the
payoff.
Thing is, however, what Raikou doesn't know, but we do, Joey's gonna come up on that in a minute. There's not going to be a lot of opportunity for him to get a lot of use and abuse from there.
I imagine that now that he has this bow, he's going to combo. He's going to combo Pod with East, and Joey is almost certainly going to do the same thing. And then it'll just be a matter of where this flute is.
Where the flute is, and where the medallion to get into Meyer is. We still haven't had any way to check it.
True. It really depends on what.
Butter Sword makes this Argus fight just trivial.
It makes it very quick, that's for certain.
He also has the bow and silver arrows to kill the main boss, and that's going to just one shot done.
He may not be He doesn't look like he's switching to it though, because it's very difficult to hit Argus with a silver arrow. And
Especially
in the timing, if you're not consistent at it, it's much faster to just take two slashes at him, or even 2 spin attacks if you just have temper. But with Butter Sword, these bosses are gonna fall so fast.
And Raikou now officially has a little bit of a lead. It's not going to be more than a minute or two, with 1:49 on the split. And Raikou going back in? Oh no, just a little hiccup. Like, he got everything in there, didn't he?
He is going to head immediately to Palace of Darkness.
And this is absolutely the right play. He's got the bow. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Didn't one of them peek into Eastern a little bit early?
Both of them went to Eastern already. They just need to get the crystal.
Okay. So, right, a tiny bit of a lead, and it's going to be interesting because we've seen Joey have the superior movement, and with the lead as small as it is, that might not hold through the rest of the run.
This race could come down to execution. Hold on to your seats.
This could be big. And the bow pickup for Joey is going to be in short order. I have to wonder where his head's at. Does he think he's really ahead at this point?
That's something that I feel is very hard to tell, given how the seed honestly has been pretty linear.
It really has. You would think that Joey, I hesitate to say that as the better players, both of them have proven they are really good despite being in the secondary tournament, but as at the very least the higher seeded player, he thinks that he is in better shape than he might actually be.
They're both good at different skills.
It is very true. You do have the execution, but Raikou has shown time and again in not just this tournament, but the qualifiers and the last tournament, he really understands the logic. And sometimes that's almost more important.
It's really a mixture of both. Being able to follow the breadcrumbs is very important.
Although we haven't had a breadcrumb so much as the glowing neon signs for large parts of this race, let's be honest.
The only item that's really been deviously hidden so far has been that hammer in Ice Palace.
And both of them found it more or less at the same time. Oop, Joey is going with that silver strat. He looks like he's just bailing out of it for spins. I can't blame him.
It's really difficult to nail Argus with a silver arrow.
And we have Raikou continuing and finding a couple small keys in Palace of Darkness. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all tied up. Again. Getting that bonk ricochet to get another small key. And,
it's not a difficult one. All you need to do is just make sure that you bonk off of the stair railing and then hold down. You'll make it every time.
And forgot that he is going to have to first try on that switch. I've seen a couple people waste a fair number of arrows on that one.
It's a tough shot. I don't know exactly how many pixels of leeway you have, but it's not very many. Joey may actually pick up a handful of seconds against Raikou if he knows how to do a hammer yump, depending on the position of the big key.
Oh, we just found it. It's outside. It's just outside the maze.
So we probably will not see a hammer yump.
Meanwhile, is Rai going to go in? Oh, he's going to go into the basement first. Given where he is, that sounds about right.
Of course he's full clearing this dungeon. He has too many things to find. And he's already... And that hook shot... Leaving that hook shot has got to be weighing on the back of his mind as well, because he's already been punished for leaving a loose square.
That is very true.
He's not going to leave any more loose squares after being severely punished for that.
And into the maze we go. Thankfully, both of them found that very early lamp, although I believe both of them can do this one in the dark.
I believe both of them know how to do all dark rooms except AGA 1, which no one actually bothers learning because the 4th floor of AGA 1 in the dark is just no fun at all. The pit room.
Yeah, that's just... You almost have to have photographic memory to pull that one off.
It very rarely comes up as well.
That is also true. It's just one of those things just isn't worth it.
Because typically the reason why you would need AGA 1 anyway is to get Dark World access, and
there's not that many.
You're not gonna find the lantern in the Dark World if the only way in there is AGA 1.
That's actually a very salient point. I didn't even think about it that way.
Because if you're doing dark rooms, then technically it's a sequence break in the logic, so you're not going to find the lantern past any place that is a dark room. At least not in this mode.
One of those things that you don't think about until someone points it out to you, I suppose. Anyway, we have Ford digging through the Palace of Darkness. No one's really found anything of note yet.
It'll be interesting to see where this progression item is. Which is just a flute and potentially a medallion away from Go mode.
Mm-hmm. It looked like Joey was trying to potentially set up a hammer jump, but that opted for just blowing up the wall. And there's that big key, so he's probably gonna go right back in.
As soon as he's done checking the right side.
Sure, finds that compass, he knows that there's nothing else, he's just gonna go straight into the maze.
And Raikou coming up on the worst room in the game, also known as the Turtle Room. But with Buttersword, this is not going to be the worst room in the game.
Buttersword and Blue Mail, so he can afford to take a hit if he has to, like that one.
He also has umpteen hearts. Dying is not a threat. It's really just gonna, at this point... Raikou does have a bit of a lead, but Joey's movement has been consistently better throughout this race, so it is still going to come down to execution. And
here we are at Helmasaur. What's Helmasaur gonna have?
And these, I feel that the way the seed is going, as long as the flute isn't in too crazy of a place, these runners should be synced up by Ganon's Tower.
I would agree. Now you wonder, is the flute or the medallion required? Is that potentially hidden back in Ice Palace? Joey did clear out a little bit more of it, so...
And we have Quake at...
We have
Quake to get into T-Rock in Palace of Darkness. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. So now the question is, do you go to T-Rock?
Gamble? That's a very, very big gamble, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long these guys are gonna. Well, Raikou's got all of Eastern Palace to think about it.
At this point, do you go back to Ice Palace or do you go to T-Rock? Knowing that Quake was in Palace of Darkness, do you go to T-Rock?
That's a very interesting question. And the answer is...
It's a hard question to answer.
I think it's a little bit easier for Joey. He did explore a bit more of Ice Palace.
He didn't open any more chests, though.
He didn't open any more chests, and that is a point, but that might lead him... The fact that he thought that much... Sometimes when you get thoughts like that, your gut instinct is gonna be your best one. If he kept going in Ice Palace, he might have gone there because he knew there was another item buried down there.
We won't know that until one of them goes there, so it'll be interesting to see if they both go to the same place. It's going to be a very exciting race.
Yeah, if they both go to the same place, it's going to be is Rai's lead good enough to survive his not necessarily worse, but sloppier execution. But if they go to a different place, who made the right call?
But if they go to different places, then I wouldn't say it's easy to call a winner because anything can happen. Even to the best runners, Ganon can happen. Even to the best runners, Ganon can still happen. Agatower or G Tower can still happen.
Trolldorm 2 can still happen. There's all sorts of things, but again, we're going to see who makes what play, and that's going to determine who has the lead going into. Because it looks like Meyer's going to be what determines.
Armos Knight's giving Raikou a little bit of trouble.
And the map. That's
and
not
they're
what
finishing.
he wanted to see.
They're finishing their bosses at the same time.
There's one difference. Joey is probably going to swing back into Eastern, so Rai is going to get a bit of a head start on his chosen path. Let's see which one he takes.
I would say Raikou at this point probably has a 2 to 2.5 minute lead. It depends on where he goes from here.
Yeah. Knowing Rai, I think he might take Ice Palace. He has said before that Ice Palace tends to be where the critical item is buried, and while he's already been right, he might clearing Ice Palace probably is going to be a little bit easier than clearing Turtle Rock. It's also going to be quicker if he's wrong.
He has everything he needs to do both dungeons, with the exception of Ice Rod. And Ice Rod was
only good for killing Trinex.
If Trinex has the flute, that would be the ultimate troll.
Oh, he's going to... It looks like he's going to Catfish. That's not going to help him any.
So this is going to make this race even closer going into the critical decision point.
Mm-hmm. It also gives Raikou more time to do, perhaps. He does have this... Oh, he does also have the mushroom.
He's turning in the mushroom, so he's getting...
Wait a minute. Right, the mushroom was just $50. We saw that.
He's getting added value out of Catfish here. So it'll be interesting to see him go to, or see exactly how big this lead is after Joey is done with...
Because he's only, what, 2-3 rooms away?
Just a few rooms, and the fight with the Armos Knights is pretty quick, so I see them making their big decision at roughly the same time. So we will see where they end up going. This,
I honestly think if they make the same play, Joey's execution probably gives him a slight lead. I'm not sure how much, not more than a minute or two.
I think it's gonna... If it's in the same place and they go to the same place, it might even just come down to Agatu.
Raikou saving quitting.
Saving quitting. We'll see where he's gonna go.
Goes to Sanctuary. So he's probably going Ice Palace.
Why would he go to Sanctuary if he was going to...
Yeah, that's... Huh. Where is he going?
Where's he going?
I don't think
Oh, is he going into Thieves Town to check the one chest in the basement?
That is such a bad play. He's got 2 items in Ice Palace. He's got a bajillion items in T-Rock.
He might not realize that Turtle Rock is an option.
Well, and that might bite him in the butt, because we see Joey going up there at this point.
Joey's going up to Turtle Rock. This'll be,
Ice Palace, it might be Raikou's saving grace if that's where the item ends up. Oh, he's going to Peg Cave. He's going to Peg Cave. They never had the hammer when they did this.
They never had the hammer,
time.
so it could be here too. So this adds a little bit of value to this play.
It's the 2 items you get from Ice Palace a lot quicker than full clearing Ice Palace would be. And
So it'll be interesting to see what's here. This is such a tense race. $300
just a bunch of money.
Not helpful.
I'm looking at his tracker. I'm trying to see. He's got Mimic Cave. He's got Ice Palace.
He's going back into Thieves Town.
It feels so bad.
It does.
It's a quick-ish, but I wouldn't say it's that quick.
Not really. It's going to take him, I want to say, probably a minute to a minute and a half to get down there.
It is still quicker than full clearing Ice Palace, though. The 2 items is still quicker than the full clear ice. So if the flute or the shovel that leads to the flute, that's also a possibility.
That would be so vanilla.
We've seen vanilla before.
Certainly.
And,
this is so tense.
We'll see where the play is.
It's going to come down to who makes the right decision. Although now it would be really interesting if the flute actually was in Ice Palace, because this would make both of them very cold.
The double miss would definitely, the double miss would definitely even things. It would probably give Raikou a lead, unless he goes to Big Turtle Rock right after this. Like, if he strikes out here and goes to Ice Palace, and Joey strikes out there...
At this point, it's just who gambles on the correct pendant dungeon, because the only places where the flute can be are pendant dungeons.
Yep.
Nice void
What do
warp
we have in... Oh, that's an ice rod.
Ice rod. That might actually make him realize that T-Rock is an option.
Yeah, you can see his tracker flipped. T-Rock is available, and it looks like he might be making that play.
He's saving and quitting. He's saving and quitting.
In Light World. He's going to T-Rock, but that puts him back behind again.
He is headed to T-Rock, yes. So he's got about a 2-minute deficit to make up.
Unless Trinex does have that flute.
If Trinex has the flute, then this is a brilliant play.
And if the flute is anywhere else, it's a terrible one. Hey, this is the sort of thing that is... You can't make this stuff up.
This is so exciting.
And a little bit of trouble in that chain chomp.
No, Joey was trying to take advantage of his iframes to be able to avoid the chain chomps, because he's dangerously low on health. One more bop from that chain chomp is gonna kill him.
Yeah, he had after he took like 4 of them.
Well, he only had 8 hearts. He only had 8 hearts when he started doing iframe strats. He needs to be really keen, and he goes down!
Oh, and Raikou's just about to go in. Oh, he had a fairy.
He has a backup fairy.
I didn't realize he had the fairy.
He had a backup fairy. He caught one earlier, but that's still going to cut into his lead. And he's still not out of this chain chomp room yet.
What it could have been.
Now he is.
Like, that could have brought them almost to dead even.
If he didn't have that fairy, then this would have been even more exciting.
You call it exciting, I call it nerve-wracking.
This is still not over.
Not by a long shot.
Such a rarity that you see runners even go independent Turtle Rock.
There are so many places this could be.
Statistically speaking, this is the best play, but this is the biggest time loss if you're wrong.
That said, I think if you gamble the other way and you're wrong, I think you lose no matter what. Like, at this point, both of them realize if they guess wrong and their opponent doesn't, they're screwed.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
have to play, yeah, so you have to just play the odds and hope that either you were ahead going in, or they made the wrong gamble.
This is absolutely the right play to go into Turtle Rock, but I want to say that the fate of this race is probably going to be determined by not only where the flute is, but if the flute is at Trinex, then advantage Raikou.
If the flute's at Trinex, advantage Raikou. If the flute is in Ice Palace, advantage Joey, but not as much an advantage as if Raikou's gamble with Ice Rod pays.
We have a Mimic Cave check. Wouldn't it be something if the flute was in Mimic Cave?
A flute in Mimic Cave. There's no way Raikou's not going to check that. It's, again, the only thing that Raikou can check that Joey can't is Trinex. And Trinex, and having to double dip Turtle Rock just to kill Trinex for the item, that's gotta be a huge time waste, doesn't it?
A little bit. And Raikou finally downing that red potion that he bought in Death Mountain over a half hour earlier. Coming in very handy. He was very low on life in that Chain Chomp room. That is one of the most dangerous rooms in the game.
And Joey about to head into... There's only one or two more chests he can check then. His tracker says there's 2 left. So let's see if... Oh,
well, there's Laser Room. There's Laser Room. That has 4 chests in it.
Yeah. Plus this one here.
I've seen this contain items before. No, just a small... Well, we knew it had to be a small key because he didn't have...
Key for the door, yeah.
For the door, so he is going to have to check the Laser Room. But he has Mirror Shield, it won't be difficult.
Yeah, he has Mirror Shield, and even if he didn't, he had Cape. Cape and half magic. Checking Laser Room was never going to be a problem. Very nice use of that hook shot. He does only have 5 hearts, so he does need to conserve his life where he can.
A lot of people forget about hookshot iframes in this game in places where it's not commonly used.
Mm-hmm. And let's check that Laser Room.
Alright, it is time for the Laser Room to see what's down here.
Piece of heart.
Piece of heart. One more item.
That ain't it.
That's the small key for the door.
Oh, plus 5 arrows.
Maybe Joey's tracker is wrong. There's the flute!
There's
all
the
the way
flute.
in the bottom of the Laser Room!
And Joey at 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 3 seconds might be in go mode. Keep in mind, we don't know what the medallion for Meyer is.
He's about to go check. If this medallion is anything but ether, then he is in go mode.
Wouldn't it be something? The 1 in 3 chance. That said, Ride doesn't have it either.
Neither one of them do, so it'll be interesting to see. Even if this is go mode, I don't think this lead is insurmountable. Because a Ganon Fall, even something simple such as a Ganon Fall, could swing this in either player's favor.
A Ganon Fall is definitely enough. So, chat, get your swag ducks out, as we have the swag duck anthem.
Little late.
Better late than never. And then the question is, if it is either, there are still actually there's 3 chests you can check right near Meyer. You have the 2 in the shed, and you have the 1 in the checkerboard cave. You might just have to go a tiny bit out of the way, and let's find out.
We're about to find out what we have here.
And Joey, come on, what is it? He's not even gonna look until he's all the way up there.
It's Bombos. Joey's in go mode.
And it's official. 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 40 seconds. Joey is in go mode.
So all he needs to do is find this big key. There's nothing else that he could even possibly want.
The only thing that'd be nice to find. He's powerful. He's got mirror shield. He's got blue mail. We know red mail's at the pedestal. He's got bow and silver arrows. He's got a butter sword. He's got half magic. There's no chest worth opening once you find this big key. And Raikou about to get his flute.
Raikou gets his flute.
139.23. He's got to activate it, and he'll find bombos.
So a little over a minute.
A minute and a half to 2 minutes, but
that's not insurmountable.
It isn't. Raikou might think he's ahead.
Yeah, he looked pretty happy to find that flute. But either
didn't find it, maybe? It was very pretty deep.
Either play was going to be a big gamble, though.
Oh, for sure. And if Rai loses, he's definitely going to be looking at that hook shot. That cost him. It didn't cost him a ton of time, but it almost certainly would have cost him enough.
More than enough to change the outcome of this race if he just didn't leave that loose square.
Of course, if he wins, all is forgiven, but he still has to get through Meyer, which is, at this point, it should be pretty easy, but this is V26. Never underestimate the Seed's ability to throw the players for a loop.
It depends on where this big key is. It depends a lot on where this big key is.
Raikou activating his swag duck as well. And he is
so
he will
immediately go to Meyer and find the good news.
Oh, there's a shovel.
The Grove item is not going to get checked by either runner.
Oh, for sure. It's just rather amusing. Hey, that's an item. No, that's not the one I need. And Raikou sees it, so 1 minute 41.21. It's about 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes right now. Again, not insurmountable, but
it's not insurmountable. It could be well. It could be a left side. It could be a left side, right side, and G tower thing.
That is. There is also the fact that to check right side early, you usually have to think you're behind. Raikou doesn't look like he thinks he's behind.
The standard play right now is actually to check right side if you get early key.
Right.
So if he gets early key and doesn't check right side.
Well, speaking of keys, that big key is still not a thing yet, and Joey's been playing for a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see his pathing. It'll be interesting to see Raikou's pathing through Meyer. He might actually take a non-standard path through Meyer in an effort to try to get in better position.
Well, it's one of those things they say. If you do something stupid and it works, it wasn't stupid. We have Joey going up the torches, and
oh no, he's going to either need to do this. He's going to either need to do this room.
Oh no, he's
got it. He's got it.
He did miss it.
He misfired the first fire rod shot, but I think he still has green goo, so magic isn't going to be an issue. He's
got a blue goo. Yeah, he should still have his green, and we know he's got a second blue that he hasn't popped yet. He should be fine.
There were so many potions in the seed. Just the game handing out free potions.
3 potions, and was the last one empty and he caught a bottle?
There's vanilla big key. No one will be getting to that early.
Nope. Almost by design. So
and Raikou looks like he is going to check that right side chest, so there's going to be no timing to be made up in this dungeon. There's powder. That could potentially make a difference in Ganon's tower.
Right, all those anti-fairies you can farm. That's definitely a life source if you need it in a pinch.
Because they don't have
life source. Raikou's down to 3 hearts. He's got to be a bit careful. And, oh! This is some interesting tech from Joey.
Oh, that's actually a variation on the cane dash strategy.
Oh, the length on that cane shot, I think he had to walk up a bit to make sure it didn't despawn.
Yes, you do need to do that as part of that strategy. Part of that strategy involves doing a little bit of camera manipulation.
And we have hitting the switch, and Joey will be going to Vitreous real soon.
And Raikou going to find his big key soon.
Take a berry for safety, why not? And, yeah, you've got silver. You've got 34 silver rows. You can spare 9 of them. 11. You need 2 to kill Vitreous. And a very textbook boss kill for Joey.
With silver arrows, it's really easy.
It is. If you have 1 miss, that's not going to be a factor. It's at most a second or 2 that Rai might be able to pick up. In the grand scheme of things, that's probably not going to make that much a difference.
So, Joey on his way up to Ganon's Tower. Everybody in chat, time to play everybody's favorite game show. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. Where do you think the big key is going to be?
Always go with number 5, baby. Meanwhile, Raikou going down into the basement. He's going to be fighting Vitreous in short order. And a very clean hook speed. Ooh, gets a little bit trolled by that dead rock, though.
The question is...
Oh no, more dead rock trolling on Joey's screen.
He may actually be going... Oh, he was despawning them. A lot of lag from cabbages, too.
I never really liked cabbage. Oh, and whoops. Accidentally falling into the pit of despair off the broken bridge.
That's pretty easy to do, actually. Because you need to be right on the edge of the bridge to be able to make it across with the hook shot. It just barely reaches.
Stunning those dead rocks to make sure there's no chance they get.
And Raikou doing the cape dash strats here.
It's so bad, but it looks so cool.
It's a good strategy if you have Butter Sword. If you have Butter Sword, it's actually faster than shooting the eyes.
That said, V26 is not going to give you Butter Sword all that often. So
it's very rare to get Butter Sword in 26, especially with progressive. Just because 26 has a habit of sticking a sword in Ganon's Tower for whatever reason.
Alright, and we have a time of 1:47.57 entering into GT for Joey. Let's see how big that lead truly is. So Raikou, it looked like he was getting trolled by that dead rock, but was able to get around it.
And it looks like our runners are not going to have the option to go right side. That's not good for Raikou. He really needs Joey to make a mistake if he wants this race.
Joey winning puts them both to 1-1, I believe.
That would put them both to 1. That would put them both to 1-1, and it would potentially make the bracket very interesting for this group.
And the torch had a small key, so Bob lives.
No, Bob does not live.
Oh, my mistake. I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking of a different Bob. 4 is 20 bucks. 5 is 10 arrows. 6 is another small key. 7 another small key.
So we have potential for legendary 5-key Ganon Tower. It's possible to hold 5 keys in this dungeon. I believe the only other dungeon where it's possible to hold 5 keys is Palace of Darkness?
Joey's got 4.
So he will hold 5 keys for a very brief amount of time, I believe. Yes, he will. He will hold 5 keys. So 147.57 versus
149.41. So
a
just
little
shy
under
of
2
2
minutes.
minutes.
That's about as much time as a Ganon Fall will typically cost you.
Yeah, so there's the 5 key.
It's actually not possible to hold 5 keys in vanilla, which is why people make a big deal out of it in the rando.
Of course. There are a lot of things that aren't possible in vanilla that people make a big deal about in rando. And still no big key.
Still no big key.
Raikou is going... Did Raikou even check right side? I didn't see him do it.
I don't think he checked right side either.
That's gonna buy him, what, 30 seconds?
He must think he's behind. And he's not wrong.
At that point, this could be something as simple as, like, better Aga geometry might swing it.
Better Aga geometry, better gauntlet.
Better gauntlet. Raikou does have half magic. He has bombos. He loves bombing the gauntlet. It is a bit slower though, so maybe he won't.
He didn't bombos the gauntlet.
Oh no! I didn't see he didn't find Big Key and he mirrored.
He might
Joey's checking right side. Joey's checking right side with his 3 keys.
This is actually... This is an interesting play. The thing is, though, he can very quickly get back to the basement from the right side. He's just going to need to take a little bit of a different route.
Okay, so it's not as...
it's not as bad, but what could turn the tide of this race is if Raikou decides to go to Armos 2, and the big key is in that room. That would turn this race around. What an incredible Ganon's Tower so far.
You know, we have been at, I want to say, 13 chests. We hit the rando room. I don't think we went further.
We have not.
I believe rando room is 9 through 13.
10 through 13.
10 through 13. Well, there's 14, 15, 16, 17.
It's not right side. It's not right side. It's either
tile room.
It's either tile room or it's Armos 2. It'll be interesting to see if Raikou goes to Armos 2, and it looks like he is. So
and
if the big key
take tile room,
he's gonna check Armos. He's gonna check Armos 2 first.
Yeah, and if it is tile room, then the fact that he has checked everything else gives him a bit of advantage as well.
And Raikou on his way to Armos 2, and Joey is only 1 room away.
Yeah.
This race just got so close. So it's not in Bob chest.
So there's 3 chests in Armos 2. And this is going to be less than 3 seconds.
So we know that if this... So we know as commentators, if this is not...
Oh no! Oh no!
He has to reset the room.
Bombing up. That's going to cost more time.
Big key behind Armos! Raikou taking the lead.
That's only a minute lead tops. That lead might not hold. Again, better a fall again and better Aga 2 geometry. This race is not over.
This is going to come down to execution. I would want to say that the lead is probably about 30 seconds.
One other thing, Joey's down to 1 heart.
He's probably going to drink a potion after he finds this big key. Another thing I could see him doing is going over to the left past Armos 2 and getting fairies. No, he's gonna mirror back.
Okay.
He's gonna mirror back. He's probably just
Raikou
drinking a
also
potion.
down to 1 heart, but he's going straight to his potions.
He was trying to get health from the anti-fairy, but it just wasn't cooperating. And they're in the same room!
But again, down to 1 heart. Oh, picks up a second, but still, that 2 hearts isn't much.
He better drink that potion.
Oh, he's stuck. Stuck on the spikes. He has to lower them and raise them again.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
I don't think he has a fairy.
He doesn't. Oh, that is a death
That's
at the worst possible
painful.
moment.
It's not a big time loss for where you can die in Ganon's tower, but he has no idea how close this race is, and he's probably kicking himself for not drinking that potion.
It looks like he almost just now remembered they even had them because the cursor showed a blank bottle.
Raikou heading up to Gauntlet.
Let's see.
He's going with the Fire Rod.
He has been grinding this trad a bit more, so he is a little more confident, and again, Butter Sword definitely doesn't hurt.
He also still has Green Goo, which I wouldn't be surprised to see him use somewhere in the tower. Beautiful room, too. Leaving that full magic drop behind, though.
He must be cognizant of what potions he's got. He's got 1 blue and 1 green by my count.
That, and he's probably feeling time pressure, because there was only really the 1 bad item location in the seed. He's got to be feeling time pressure. He's had a great gauntlet.
Yep. Not even taking the time to dust that fairy.
That anti-fairy actually messes with the timing on Lanmo 2.
Only gets 1 for 3 from the first salvo. Gets the other 2 on the second round, though.
Shooting Lanmos with silver arrows is very hard. But Joey recovering from that death nicely. He's only a floor behind.
And I love this strat with the Kansamari on those Wizrobes.
Oh, Wizrobe... Oh, that room is free. It's...
I know it's free, but it looks so amazing.
It looks nice. It's still free. This room is not free. Close. Not quite. Not quite.
Missed with one of the cane shots.
The trap blocked it. That's very common. If you mistime that, the trap is going to block the beam that shoots upward.
And Joey, not that great.
Joey grabbing some item. He's down to 3 hearts, and
he knows he's got that blue goo though this time.
He's probably going to drink it now.
Yeah, he's going to hit it. He does also have that green left if he needs another magic reload. He probably won't at this point.
He might use it after the torch room. This race is still very close.
Oh, absolutely.
A good Lanmo 2 would turn the tide of this race.
That's a
close, almost.
That's a decent Lanmo 2. He's gonna get a kill on the second wave.
That's still about the same speed that Raikou's was.
Give or take. Now a
Moldarm 2 with Butter Sword. Moldarm 2 with Butter Sword is quick.
Yeah, but he almost took a fall, and that would have changed the tide again. I don't expect to see validation from either of these.
No, they've got to be feeling time pressure. I don't blame either of them for not checking validation test.
The fact that you haven't seen a dot done has got to be a bit worrying.
In a seed with Butter Sword and items that have been pretty generous, seeing no dot done almost 2 hours into the seed, they both have to feel they're under tremendous time pressure.
And Raikou at Aga 2 at 158.09. Let's see how he goes. Oh, this could be a beautiful. Oh,
only one hit. Only one hit. It's pretty precise to actually shoot Aga from the corner. There's a double.
Gets a double.
This is a tough pattern, actually.
He gets nothing out of it.
That's a really hard pattern. Anytime you have to make long shots, it's difficult.
4 through 4 rounds. Did he get a double here? Yes, he does. That probably would have been a triple if he needed it, but he only needed the 2.
No, it was definitely a double. Those first 2 hit at the same time.
Hit.
Otherwise, Aga would have gone down on the first 2. So it was definitely a double.
Yeah, the 5 cycle Aga. And I mean, again, a fall is still going to put Joey right back in it.
Absolutely.
That said, Buttersword Silver Arrow.
Buttersword Silver is going to be very easy.
It's the best conditions you can hope for against Ganon.
This is his race to lose. But overall, this has been an incredibly exciting race. So many lead changes. So many lead changes. It's been a long time since I've seen a race with this many lead changes.
Especially especially a change that big in G Tower. Not just the early big key, but also the death by Joey, and he's getting just really wrecked by these mini Helmosaurs.
This is a tough room. And Raikou already on phase 3 of Ganon.
And Aga 2 for Joey. Ooh, only one. Couldn't even get a double off that first wave. Much better positioning. And only gets one again. Raikou on to the final phase.
I think it's since VT25, the Aga 2 patterns are actually fixed per seed, so every runner will get the same patterns. It's just a matter of how you deal with them. They actually both got the same cycle.
Right. So Raikou only needs 2 more.
He needs to be careful, though.
And there it is.
There it is.
RaikouRider is going to win this seed.
What a great race.
Performance.
And Raikou putting in his dot done with an SRL time of 2 hours 57 seconds. Finishing his run just as Joey is starting the Ganon fight, and he is in disbelief.
That has to be one of the closest races I've seen all tournament.
It's definitely up there.
And Joey just tearing through Ganon. That death in GT is the only real reason why he could not pull this out, and it was very close. I think even with the big key issue, they'd still both be in Ganon at the same time, if not for that death.
Oh, absolutely. The death in GT didn't actually cost Joey that much time. What may have actually determined the race was Raikou not checking right side in Ganon's tower.
I think the death and not checking right side probably about the same amount of time. Either, if he had only made one of those 2 mistakes, it would have come down to the wire.
Joey missing torch glitch.
A little unfortunate at this point. Ooh, down to
missing a double hit too.
Oh,
Joey with the Hyrule driver,
trying to set up Ganon for the double.
That was a triple setup.
Trying for the swag after the dot done came in, maybe.
That may have actually been tilt also.
Yeah,
he hasn't been showing it, but it's always
0-2 in the round.
It's always disheartening to see a dot done when you're fighting Ganon.
Oh, for sure. And
oh, now he's swagging out. Now he's swagging out with dashes.
Oh, he doesn't have that blue potion, does he?
He doesn't have any backup. He's probably going to abuse hookshot iframes to get through the more dangerous parts of the fight now.
Yeah.
But overall, both runners have played very, very well.
That puts Raikou to 2-0, and he has another match almost immediately after this. So
this will definitely bolster his confidence for his match against IMQ Bliss immediately after this.
And Joey down to 0-2. People remember, he was 1 spot away from making the main, and he is at risk of maybe not even making the field in the secondary. That's gotta be disheartening.
The way the brackets fall, depending on the outcome of the race between Raikou and Hugh, to be able to make the bracket, it's possible he may need some win and some help.
That is very true. He might actually not be in control of his own destiny at 0-2.
But this is the Ganon fight. The Ganon fight's tough.
Yeah.
Especially with Blue Mail, you can't underestimate the amount of damage that Ganon does. Because his regular attacks do 3 hearts of damage. A Hyrule Driver from Ganon will do 4 hearts of damage.
Because he had 3 and then got drivered.
Well, even if he was at 4 hearts, that would have killed him.
Right. It is definitely a little disheartening, but mad props to Raikou. People don't remember that he made it to the round of 64 in the previous tournament. He's got skills, and he's showing them off very well. So this is definitely going to be. It's definitely going to make things interesting with this bracket. We have
looks like Ganon giving Joey the runaround here.
all the business. There's that last stab to get him into the last phase. Missing Torch Glitch again. A little unfortunate.
Torch Glitch doesn't really matter at this point. He just needs to be really careful about another fall.
Death.
Well, a death or a fall. I think he's got him set up for the double. Yes, he does get the double hit, and Joey is done. Going to be done very shortly.
About a 5-minute margin victory for Rai. It should have been a lot closer, but that unfortunate death giving him a lot more of a comfortable
And Joey
lead.
is done as well with a time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, 14 seconds. GG to both runners.
Still a respectable time given all the grief they had to go through. Ended up digging through most of 2 pendant dungeons and part of a third. And that's V26 for you. It's gonna make you work for your wins even when it gave you everything.
Oh, absolutely. So we do have one more game to play with the chat. We are coming up to Raikou's stats right now. Guess the bonk count. We did have boots fairly early. I'm going to go with a bonk count of 30.
Did have the boots. I don't remember seeing that many bonks. I'm gonna go 23. Yeah, you can see Joey really does not look that enthused right now. It's the first time we've seen that really much emotion out of him at all.
For the entire race, he was still as a statue.
Yeah, I mean, and that poker face, it has its ups and it has its downs, I guess. I mean, honestly, those deaths at Ganon probably, like, I wouldn't call them mistakes because they came after the match was decided. He really didn't have any mistakes. Like, neither of these players, each of them had a couple minor misroutes, where I had that hookshot loose square that bugged him. He had that time he wasted going into the Peg Cave and that big chest in Thieves Town. Although
we have 26 bonks.
26, okay. But
and we'll see what his menu time is soon. 3:38. That is a very good menu time for a 2-hour seed.
That is the rule of thumb you like to use is 2 minutes for every in-game hour.
Yes, 2 minutes per hour is a good menu time.
And we apparently had arrows to be dug up in the grove. But in any case, I think that will probably do it for us.
Yes, it will.
Thanks to everyone who came and watched, and I guess we'll see you around next time.
And have a great night.